guess you didn't choose some traumas, did you? Just where were you, bro? Or who your family is? You just came out some steamy hot night between your parents and 9 months after you were dealt a deck of cards. What are them cards like? Hell, mate, it's not like I know you're nothing like that. Anyway, Griftlands kind of like that, except you gotta play them properly. And yeah, I guess properly is the word this time. You gotta do it as the world does this filthy little wiggle dance. Yay, yay, wiggle dance on your face. And tries to steal your deck with the help of that frisky little dwarf bastard dressed like Santa Satan's little helper. Guess that one depends on your dyslexia. Uh, Big one? Yeah, I guess. That one's pretty big. You already know it, but here's a warning. I might be speaking of some messed up stuff, so if you feel like leaving, do it right now and walk over the light. Otherwise, grab a drink, cause this is gonna get interesting. Well then, since you know this whole thing's a famous joke by some twisted ass old folk up in the sky, so your deck's just a mess, pretty much like your room, so tidy it up, you lazy ass. Let's look at the dumpster fire we're standing close to. Yeah, nerds call it Havaria sci-fi or whatsoever. Me? Yeah, I call it again, duh. So yeah, advanced players like to feel powerful and stuff like getting to be like He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Come on, you didn't watch that one as a kid? Shame on ya. But this Griftlands one, it wants to be a tough cookie to crack. Not a pretty little hero. So yeah, take your time and shields and better be careful. It's taking that soul of yours too. So for anything else, I gotta be clear. This is not a tutorial that's for woos and fuzz, not for soul. So buckle up and even if sun's shining outside, don't just stare at it, you fool. And if you see the big old balls in the sky any place round, tell him that he's gotta close the tab and pay up. Drinks ain't free here for him today or never. God is thought. Or God's dead, whatever, yeah. I think he might be dead or still recording after being hanged out and everything. Mugged like hell by those sprees the other night. Damn fine job. Well, did they leave something behind for the rest of us? Yeah, some shields, lead, and well, you get the gist of it. Those slimy crab eaters. Oh, well. You know, the guy who talks about a big sea serpent I wanna have food in it? Yeah, that Hobbes block. He said something like, without a big boss in church, life's just a war against all and all that crap, nasty, brutish, and short. So, yeah, after hearing that dude from time to time, the other guy decided it was a great idea to build this big boss or final boss or whatever the hell you want to call it, the Deltrean Empire. And that Leviathan won't fill our bellies. I mean, how the hell can you cook an empire? Sounds odd, right? Just better as a real serpent, a real sea serpent. After all, they ain't keeping none of us safe, just getting our cash out while lazing around with their fat butts, eating all our food, and all that good old crap. Well, guess they wanted to become a wolf, a big shitty one at that. And they did it with their damn taxes, let me tell you that much. So yeah, here, your street creds or reputation or whatever you wanna call it, it ain't being a solid one, mate. It's about investing in people and expecting for the cash. Hell freaking yeah. So yeah, the thing is, you ain't gonna use words to understand each other in this filthy dumpster. You're using them as weapons to make sure they getting it good. People's gonna call it dialectical system. I call it up their arse system. Well, yeah, that's me at least. Anyway, some old dude used to say some fancy Dasein stuff or whatever you pronounce it, you know? That was just being born, mate. Just that he thought we were thrown into the noise and stuff. Well, in this Havaria place, the noise is just people screaming for chills. Or shields, I don't know how to pronounce that crap. Who cares? Anyway, about your neck again, I'll call it that instead of negotiation. That crap's way too soft for me, and way too long. It's just a collection of shots ready to be fired, and don't you dare aiming at the glasses, you filthy punk. So yeah, different stuff happens, influence it ain't about being a chump. It is about making sure you rob that prick and he thanks you for that. Living among wolves, you gotta stay sharp, man. Let me say that. Just that. Anyway, here's the gist of it. Those tools are more or less like your brain system, whatever the hell it's called. Trap's going down, but gotta fight to stick it together, you know? Well, yes, you know the whole thing. Getting out of bed feels like a damn boss fight, while being debuffed as all hells. You get it, right? Well, in Havaria, whatever the hell. Every time you die, and no pun intended with every time I die by children, but one hell of a song, by the way. You just get lonely, mate. New rounds are little going back, time to the point zero. But you know new stuff enough. Mate, those debuffs in your hand, they feel close to home, right? Every bad shot you fire, you got 'em here. Kind of relatable, huh? This Camus dude, good old friend of mine, by the way. He once said that a hero's not here to beat the hell out of the Empire, but the one to click a new game know it is gonna be one hell of a waste of time. Well, mate, yeah, but it's gonna be a fun one too. He used to say shit about his CC boss guy or something like, I don't know. Dude was pushing rocks all day in and out. Mad one if you ask me. He said was his way to stick it to the universe and say he was there. I honestly just opened this tavern to do that. To each their own, huh? Well, in the end, we're just sitting here to talk about random stuff, huh? Feels like I soaked up too much, so leave 'em shields and with one turn and raise your mouth. Cheers to the one who, like me, ain't eating nosy serpent tonight.